What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the 21 CD podcast. I don't even know what episode this is, but we're going to do something a little bit weird, and we're going to do a song review of this song by Oliver Anthony that is going viral right now, and everybody's raging about it, and it's a really good song, so I thought that why not do a little episode on it, because it's just awesome, and it seems to be really impacting people, and that's part of what this podcast is like covering relevant things as well as, you know, obviously covering strange stuff and whatnot. We also cover some of the more relevant stories of the modern dystopian times that we live in. So I feel like doing a sort of a reaction video on a really popular thing that's circulating like TikTok and YouTube and Spotify and everything is pretty relevant to what we do at 21 CD. AJ hasn't heard the song at all.
Never heard it before in my life.
So it's fresh for him. Me, I've listened to the song about 100 times already and cried like 101 times because it's just, I don't know, I really loved the song. I'm a truck driver, so I'm blue collar. This guy sings about some blue collar issues, and if you look at his other music, he's very I hesitate to use the word patriotic, but he's like one of those country guys who's like talking.
He just makes you feel things about
right
your life and your country and your
life, and just how hard it is for the working class. Like he's like he's like an old style modern country guy.
Yeah, I've never heard of the guy, never heard the song, never listened to any of his music before.
Well, you're not the only one, because kind of like I told you before we started rolling, like a week ago, this guy had 6,500 followers on Spotify, and now, I'll just look at his Spotify right now, we're talking this guy has 2.7 million followers. So, like, literally, like an overnight sensation, you know? Like, this guy has...
And it's mostly because this one song?
This one song took off, and it... I assume it will change his life. He's come...
It probably already has. Based off of that amount of growth in 1 week is like, that is pretty much already a life-changing amount of
absolutely
interaction.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure he might be getting, I don't know, Spotify seems to pay people weird, so he may or may not be getting paid for it. But irregardless, it's not a word, is it? Didn't we decide irregardless isn't a word? But
it might not be.
Regardless of the fact.
Regardless.
He's come forth and he has said, I don't want the fame. I don't want the money. I literally live in a trailer home that I bought on Craigslist for $750. I still owe a ton of money on my land that I have and this has all just been almost too much for me. This guy reads Bible verses before he does local shows. Like he's like a salt of the earth guy.
Yeah, didn't even really expect it.
No, and
crazy.
I'm gonna get on TikTok real quick, a real relevant source for everything modern, because I want to read you this before I play the video. I want to read you this this article on him that somebody made. And he posts. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at it again. I don't even have all my facts straight. He wrote it on his Facebook page.
Okay.
So bear with me. I'm going to read you and everybody else this. This is after he became popular because of this song.
Sure.
It's been difficult as I browse through the 50,000 plus messages and emails that I've received in the last week. The stories that have been shared paint a brutally honest picture. Suicide, addiction, unemployment, anxiety and depression, hopelessness, and the list goes on. I'm sitting in such a weird place in my life right now. I never wanted to be a full-time musician, much less sit at the top of the iTunes charts. Draven from Radio WV and I filmed these tunes on my land with the hope that it may hit 300,000 views. I still don't quite believe what has went on since we uploaded that. It's just strange to me. People in the music industry give me blank stares when I brush off $8 million offers. I don't want 6 tour buses, 15 tractor trailers, and a jet. I don't want to play stadium shows. I don't want to be in the spotlight. I wrote the music I wrote because I was suffering with mental health and depression. These songs have connected with millions of people on such a deep level because they're being sung by someone feeling the words in the very moment they were being sung. No editing, no agent, no bullshit. Just some idiot and his guitar. The style of music that we should have never gotten away from in the first place. So that being said, I have never taken the time to tell you who I actually am. Here's a formal introduction. My legal name is Christopher Anthony Lunsford. My grandfather was Oliver Anthony, and Oliver Anthony music is a dedication not only to him, but 1930s Appalachia, where he was born and raised. Dirt floors, 7 kids, hard times. At this point, I'll gladly go by Oliver because everyone knows me as such, but my friends and family still call me Chris. You can decide for yourself, either is fine. In 2010, I dropped out of high school at age 17. I have a GED from Spruce Pine, North Carolina. I worked multiple plant jobs in western North Carolina, my last being at the paper mill in McDowell County. I worked third shift, 6 days a week for $14.50 an hour in a living hell. In 2013, I had a bad fall at work and fractured my skull, and it forced me to move back home to Virginia. Due to complications from the injury, it took me 6 months or so before I could work again. From 2014 until just a few days ago, I've worked outside sales in the industrial manufacturing world. My job has taken me all over Virginia and into the Carolinas, getting to know tens of thousands of other blue-collar workers on job sites and in factories. I've spent all day, every day, for the last 10 years hearing the same story. People are so damn tired of being neglected, divided, and manipulated. In 2019, I paid $97,500 for the property and still owe about $60,000 on it. I'm living in a 27-foot camper with a tarp on the roof that I got off of Craigslist for $750. There's nothing special about me. I'm not a good musician. I'm not a very good person. I've spent the last 5 years struggling with mental health and using alcohol to drown it. I am sad to see the world in the state it's in, with everyone fighting with each other. I have spent many nights feeling hopeless that the greatest country on earth is quickly fading away. That being said, I hate the way the internet has divided all of us. The internet is a parasite that infects the minds of humans and has their way with them. Goals forgotten, loved ones sitting in houses with each other distracted all day by technology made by the hands of other poor souls in sweatshops in a foreign land. When is enough enough? When are we going to fight for what is right again? Millions have died protecting the liberties we have. Freedom of speech is such a precious gift. Never in world history has the world had the freedom it currently does. Don't let them take it away from you. Just like those once wandering in the desert, we have lost our way from God and have let false idols distract us and divide us. It's a damn shame. So this dude is now topping the charts. This is not Billie Eilish or...
This is not a celebrity.
Sorry, I'm so bad with these celebrity names. This is not somebody you would expect to be topping the charts, though. You know what I mean?
So, like, when did he write that?
He wrote this song...
Or just that?
A week ago. He wrote this, like, yesterday?
Interesting.
So after everything hit, after he realized that he was, like, really shaking the core of this country, he wrote this because all of a sudden it was like people were posting stuff like, we don't follow Morgan Wallen, we follow Oliver Anthony. Morgan Wallen ain't real country. Oliver Anthony is the new country.
Yeah.
And, like, stuff like that. You know, like, Morgan Wallen in the country world is God.
Right.
And now, all of a sudden, people are like, this is real country. Morgan Wallen, he's...
Right.
You know,
I get it. Well, and, like, I mean, there is something about, like, writing a song that you feel and that is, like, really deeply emotional to who you are. Mm-hmm. Like, that is a intimate experience with somebody. Like, getting to listen to that song and like, that is one thing. Another type of music is writing something that people like listening to, and it's fun, and it has a good beat, and you don't even really feel it, but it is like, it's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
Like, pop artists write good songs. That's why they are what they are.
Right.
And so, somebody who writes something that they feel on a, like... deeply intimate way with themselves when they release that song, that is like you know, and it's interesting that he didn't even really like think of it as something that would like go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
He was just writing his song and he was just posting it.
Yeah, and I watched the video
just like everybody else.
I watched the video, and like it is literally like he's playing his guitar. And he's just got a cheap mic on a microphone stand.
So it's on like YouTube?
Yeah, and it's just in the woods. His dog is like chewing on a stick in the background, and he's just standing there playing the song. So I'm going to pull this up on YouTube right now, guys, and we are going to watch this video. I don't know yet if I can post this on YouTube with his YouTube video in the background, but I'll do my best. If not, if it doesn't work for whatever reason, just check out Oliver Anthony, Richmond, north of Richmond. And I mean, I'm sure you've all heard of it already, but that's the song we're reviewing today. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it up right now.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away.
Is this something we pause during, or do we go through the whole thing? Because like I
think there's a lot to unpack here.
You're right. I think this is something that we need to take breaks from.
Let's talk about this. There's a deer stand in the background.
Well, again, like I think you need to take a break during it. I think generally, if you want to listen to this song, just from the first few seconds of my first time hearing it, this is a song that you should listen to probably by yourself.
And a couple times.
And without any distractions. Like, you should listen to the whole song all the way through, and you should listen to the song.
For the sake of, like, music, but also what this song is doing to you individually.
Right, like you should think about it. But I also just, like, you can hear, like, in his voice that this is like his
and in
song.
his face. Look at his face,
Right.
man.
Like this is his song. And, and it's like he wrote this song because it's his song.
It's his song.
And like you can already feel that within the first few seconds. So like I feel a little bad even stopping because I want to.
Do you want to start it over?
Song.
I'll start it over.
I think maybe we start it over and maybe we.
He heard the first 20 seconds. He's like, "All right."
I'm just trying to figure out if we try to unpack this as we're going.
Do I need to prepare to cry?
Because man. Okay.
You tell me when you're ready.
I mean, I don't know, but are we stopping again, or are we going all the way through?
If you feel the need to stop, we'll stop it.
Okay.
And we'll resume where we resume.
Okay, if I feel the need.
If you feel the need.
If I feel so compelled.
We could also go all the way through. It's only 3 minutes and 10 seconds long. We can go all the way through, and we can hold hands at the end.
We'll see what happens. You know what?
All right.
We'll see what happens.
All right, here we go. Richmond, North of Richmond by Oliver Anthony.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men, north of Richmond.
Dude, so hard, man.
I mean, he's just speaking
Wish
his reality.
politicians look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to.
Oh, man.
People like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is.
But it is.
Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do.
at his
'Cause your
face,
dollar
man.
ain't shit,
Feeling
and it's
it.
taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men, north of Richmond. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
Wow.
#1 song on iTunes and Spotify. 27 million views in a week from an artist who only had a few thousand followers a week ago.
Yeah, he probably wrote that song on the way to work one morning. Or on the way back.
I heard that while I was driving truck, and I started crying, dude. Like, I unashamedly just started crying, and I instantly played the song like 3 or 4 more times. And I was just like, this is insane. And I started watching reaction videos and people just being like, who the heck is this guy? Where did he come from? And all of his songs are that way. Like, there's no studio stuff. There's no editing. It's just him. He just sets up his microphone and he records one takes. And, like, his other songs are pretty good, too. But this, I mean, you know how it is. Sometimes things just hit right when they're supposed to hit.
Yeah,
so,
it just resonates a little bit differently right now.
Yeah, like, it just resounded, and a lot of people were just, this is what they needed.
Yep, and they shared it, and they felt it, and it was real for them, and so they sent it to their other buddy, and now it's like, just like...
Yeah, and like people were talking, and you know, like, it's when somebody gets this famous this fast, it's really hard to tell what he's saying and what other people are projecting upon him.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like, there were some people who were straight up saying, like, this guy is the face of the revolution. Like, people were like, this guy's gonna, like he's like the next George Washington.
Right.
And then there were other people who were just like, totally just being like, I'll still listen to my 1970s George Strait or whatever before that. Like, you know, like, there's always two sides.
Well, yeah, and I mean, there's two strong sides, and then there's 1,000 other small perspectives, but like, everybody has an opinion on everything, and they also can say it whenever they want. And so, like, yeah, whenever there's one of these speakers who just rises in a way, like somebody who just starts saying what people need to hear, and like becomes a known person for what they say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's hundreds of accounts of excellent speakers and people who became who they are because they said what the people needed to hear when they needed to hear it.
You know, that's very interesting thing to say, because I feel like patriotism is so accidental. Like, you have this idea, people who have a lot of guns and American flags on their front porch, both of which I have. I'm not talking smack, but they have this idea of what patriotism is, and they think they're patriots by default. But like, there is this strange thing that I feel like takes over somebody, like almost this supernatural thing that takes over somebody and turns them into a Paul Revere, or turns them into a John Paul Jones, turns them into
Martin Luther King.
Exactly. Like, it's not something you just are inherently.
Right.
It is something that happens to you, and maybe it's circumstantial, or maybe you force it into being because you are like so fed up that you're just like, I'm not going to take this anymore, and then boom, you start a you spark the flame. But like, this guy, he's just a regular guy.
Yeah, and he's just, again, like, probably literally wrote this song on his way to work.
And now, like, people are literally being like, you are a hero.
Right.
And that's where that accidental patriotism just, and that's great. Like, that, we need people like that. Well,
we need more authentic people.
Mm-hmm.
We need more real people being real with each other.
Yep.
We need more of that type of interaction in the world, because like nowadays, again, all of your social media is fake. All of your online personality is fake. All of your reactions with your coworkers are fake.
Yeah,
all of your reactions with your dad become
a lot
fake.
of that patriotism is fake.
Right.
Like, you see these people who, like, in the aftermath of like the Trump stuff, who like tried to maintain their hold on television networks and social media networks and try to just be as like, oh, like George Washington for the win, and like all this kind of stuff. And it's just like, oh, look, the Bill of Rights and the South will rise again, and like all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, dude, that is fake patriotism. That is not real. That is you yelling until your face is red so that a bunch of people can see you do it. Real patriotism is feeling something in your bones and just being a way that you are inherent. I don't know. It's such a breath of fresh air to see somebody not force it, you know? just get out in the woods with their guitar and their 3 dogs and their lawn chair and their deer stand and just be like, all right, here's a song I wrote called Richmond, North of Richmond. And it's just exactly what every person needs to hear right now. That is insane, man. That's magic right there. That is something special.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be, because it's such a... You don't just... You either try your whole life to get to that point, or you just sort of fall into it somehow.
Yeah.
And it's like, clearly, he just fell into it, and it's because of the way that the entire self-existence that he is going through is forcing him to spill that out, which is like, you know what drives a person to do that?
Pain.
Pain. A lot. That's how
it's real.
That's how
feeling.
Great art is born,
right?
In a lot of ways.
It's the human experience that is just bubbling up to a head that you cannot resist anymore. You have to let it out.
It's a cry.
And he's gifted in music, clearly. Like, this isn't something that anybody can do.
No.
You know, but you do have artists like Nicki Minaj, Doja Cat, Billie Eilish, you know,
Taylor Swift,
like Drake, you know, like all these people who can just write any old song and get 25 million views in 24 hours.
Right.
But that song is not moving people. That song is a commercial. It's like a piece of candy. Like you go to the gas station and you buy a Snickers bar. Well, guess what? 500,000 other people have also today, and it's not because it's so good. It's just because there it is and it's available, and it's just everywhere. But this guy was just out in his woods, man. Like that. I don't know. It's.
Man, when you write a song like that, and it's just with the hours in your day that you have.
Yeah, I mean, it really got me to thinking for sure, too. Like, one of the things that music is supposed to do is make you feel something. It's supposed to make you think. And so, like, when I started, at least in my opinion, everybody listens to music, I guess, in their own way. But, like, I was just kind of like, man, he's right. You know, like, if enough people are like, man, he's right. This sucks. Why are we letting this happen? Like, it very well could lead to some kind of movement, because I'm not going to lie, it is messed up. And he is one of the few people right now who has just been like, I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah, openly.
Yeah, like...
That's why I wrote this song. Like, that's why I wrote it, because it's messed up right now. Like, right now is terrible for me. And it's terrible for you, too. That's
That's the important part, and it's terrible for you, too.
It's terrible for you, too.
Because everybody writes a song about it's terrible for me.
And that's why it caught. Yeah. Is because it's like everybody feels that way. Like, it is hard out here. It is getting harder. And that's like a tough realization, but I think something that everybody feels in some way, whether you choose to acknowledge it or not, is like your method of coping. Again, his method of coping is drinking. What is your method of coping? Like, do you just ignore it? Do you try to just ignore that it's getting harder?
Yeah, and you know, we're getting close to the half-hour mark, so we got to stop at 30 minutes on this camera. But I think we've sort of reached a good time here to talk about this song anyway. But one thing that I was thinking about too is just like, it's so important to try to find something that brings you back, that keeps you from descending into madness in these times specifically, because that is what they want. They want you to kill yourself by drinking. They want you to work constantly until you can't move and then get up and do it again tomorrow. That is what they want you to do. And what we have to do as human beings is remember that we are here for more than that. And even though this is all hard and everything, which it is, and we can talk about how badly we need a revolution in just a few seconds after this break, because maybe we're not done yet. I don't know yet. Might have a little more here. All right, we're back. I know I said I was almost done, but then I started talking about revolutions, and you guys know how fired up I get when we start talking about
You guys know what that word does to me. You know what that word does to me.
But, you know, this is now venturing away from Oliver Anthony and into just the what the heck are we going to do about this country? And I've always had a dream for a really long time, I guess, every day for summer. I've had this dream of one day having a pirate radio. I always thought the idea of having a pirate radio that's just out there in the wasteland, you know, and everybody's wondering where that signal's coming from that's getting people fired up. I've always thought that would just be the pinnacle of coolness, you know? Like, I always just was, whenever I imagine, like, where do you think the 21 CD podcast could be? Well, I guess I kind of imagine the bombs will drop and a bajillion people will die, and there's, like, 10,000 left, but somewhere off in the distance, you like on these staticky broken speakers, you can still hear the 21 CD podcast. If anybody's out there, don't
Is anyone out there? Welcome back to the 21 CD podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Are you alive?
If you are hearing this,
if you are out there.
Live. But no, I mean, in reality, I just mean it. We have to hold on. You know, it's so easy to get wrapped up in the routine and the pain of survival, which I think we grow numb to, but it's really just, I have to work constantly. I got to get this next thing. I got to get this next thing. I have to get groceries. I have to feed my kids. I have to pay taxes. I have to pay for this new car. I have to put gas in this new car. I got to get to work on time.
I have all these utility bills. I have to fix the tire. I also have to mow my lawn, and I have to make sure that I can still, like...
Yeah, and also, some of my friends are also asking for money because we're all going through the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to descend into this complacent madness.
Yeah, where you just literally exist and you function.
Yeah.
But you don't live it all. And you
Dude,
don't,
it's terrible.
And you try not to feel anything.
That's when you become, dare I say, the viewers hate it when I say this. That's where you become an NPC. That is where you become
get stuck.
Yeah, you become the non-player character. You forfeit your main character energy, and you just become. I'm not that kind of energy. I'm just being. You forfeit that part of you that is the main character, because you all are your own main character. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, everybody's the star of their own show.
Exactly, and that's not a prideful thing. You just are. You know, you all have your own lives, just like I have mine and he has his, and it's just. This is a huge rant just to say this song is a sharp blade that reminds you there's still something worth feeling out there.
Yeah.
And we have not been feeling it the way we should be. That is what I got from it. That's my official review. 10 out of 10 stars. Play it again. Like,
play it over and over until you feel it.
You know, like that's it, dude.
Yeah, and I think like some people obviously might not really connect with it. Like if you're just somebody who hates all country music.
Yep, definitely.
Like you might not like that song very much because you just don't get it.
Or you don't suffer from those problems. You're ultra rich.
That would be another situation where you just don't really get it. Like you just can't relate, which is also like good for you.
Yeah,
good for you.
Your problem sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, like I actually almost do pity you a little bit, but that's all right. Happens. It happens. But like in general, I think that's why it is like a viral song, is because a lot of people are feeling that right now. And it is like in a lot of ways, a sign of the times. But it's also just a great song. Like he's got a great voice. He's very talented.
Good song.
He's very talented, and like that is a gift in of itself to be able to just sing and write like that and make people feel that way, like you cannot shortchange that ability. That is a very special gift. Like,
Yeah,
that's hard.
especially as raw as that is. Like,
Yeah,
that didn't
like,
come from no
that's-
college. Like, he didn't go to
No.
music school to learn theory
No.
and stuff. That guy just played from the
Yeah,
soul.
he wasn't on The Voice, you know. Like,
He'd win if he was. I guarantee. Right now, if that dude was on The Voice, dude,
oh yeah, if
people
that
would
guy,
be like texting in their votes.
Right.
Oliver Anthony.
Yeah.
With American flag emojis.
hey,
and an
Oliver Anthony, get on The Voice. We just gave you your next mission. I guarantee you'll do well.
That's the crazy thing about him too.
But
Is
he didn't even. Yeah, he doesn't
didn't
even
want the
that.
money.
It's not even really about that. But again, like that's why.
Do you think he'll cave? Do you think he'll cave to the money?
Man, that's a hardly
Isn't
asked
it?
question.
Isn't it a hard question?
I
to
get the
answer?
question, but
Yeah.
the way you ask that specifically is like, yeah, I mean that's what it comes down to.
That's true. You could say, do you think he'll cave to the money? But you could just as easily say, do you think he will accept this opportunity?
Right.
Like,
Well,
it doesn't have to be
do
a
you
bad
think
thing.
he'll use this to change his life? Do you think
And
he'll,
others.
Right. Like
Oh.
that's the thing where it's like, you know, money is such a such a wildly distracting thing
Right.
in general. And,
Right.
And like a lot of people say that, yeah, money can't buy happiness. And that's a vastly misunderstood lie.
It is a lie. It can buy me
Yeah, it can buy tons of happiness.
Jolly Ranchers, which I
Right.
love and make me happy.
But that's not why you
It
value
can also
your
buy
money.
me Liquid Death, which I am not sponsored by, but am extremely addicted to.
I may or may not have their version of cornhole.
I think here's what I think is going to happen to Oliver Anthony. I think he is going to accept a smaller offer. He will be touring the country this time next year. He will be doing songs in every city. They will all sell out, and he will find his fortune in music. And I hope he does. I wish him the best. And I hope he uses his powers for good.
Yeah, that's the biggest part. Like when you get the opportunity to change so many people's lives or use your wealth for good or help people, like I feel like that's something that you have to take. If you get that opportunity to make a big impact like that, like you should probably take it. Even if that means you kind of have to be a servant for a long time. You have to.
You know, I bet there's a lot of people in his life right now who, just based on the statement that we read from him, I bet there's a lot of people in his life right now who are kind of like, if you don't take this, you're an idiot. You have to do this. You have to do it. And I bet that does not help him mentally at all. There's got to be so many people related to him and who are his friends who just want him to be so famous so bad.
I mean, like, the money, like, again, back to the money buys happiness thing. What money really buys that you seek your entire life is it buys convenience and it buys comfort.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it buys. And so, like, if you're uncomfortable every single day because you rent a terrible apartment and there's bad people that live on either side of you and your car is breaking down and you live in a trailer with a tarp on the roof and you have to like plan for leaks, like whatever it is, if you're uncomfortable every day, yeah, if you had more money, you could fix that. You could make yourself comfortable, which is amazing. Like most people don't even have the ability to make themselves comfortable.
Right.
And then it's like the convenience is like, yeah, now you have the convenience to go visit your family whenever you want. Now you have the convenience to not work every single day.
Pay off your land.
Pay off your land, own what you have. That gives you the convenience to eat what you want, have the diet you want, go to the gym as many times as you want. Like that's the convenience that money buys you. So like if this guy is out here struggling and suffering, take the money, dude.
Yeah, at least some of it.
Yeah.
You don't have to sign to Warner Brothers, but do something, man.
Maybe get yourself to a place where you don't got to drink every night. You know? Like,
Yep.
maybe take the money and use it for that. Maybe take the money to help your mom. You know, like, take the money and use your gift. Like, I think, if you're given something like that, you should use it for the most that you can without selling your soul.
Amen. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to this unconventional. I say this every episode, so I'm not exactly sure what a conventional episode of 21 CD podcast really is anymore. But thanks for tuning into this episode. We'll get back to the freaky stuff in the next one. Have a great day, and don't drink the water. Oh, and please remember to subscribe, rate, review, drop 5 stars if you're on Spotify. All that stuff really helps because it is extremely hard to break into the algorithm, and I need that help. So, like, if we can get that rolling, that would be great. And we will see you next time. Bye.